It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey, everybody, this is the Tax Lady, and we're talking taxes, and this is would be traditionally like 3 days before the end of tax season. As everybody probably knows, the tax season has been extended to July the 15th. At EG Tax, we're going to artificially kind of cease our branch offices on the 15th of April. Then we're going to extend beginning May the 1st at your convenience at many of our branch offices at select locations. So right now, EG Tax is hoping to serve as many people as possible up till April the 15th. And those of you that want to come in after that, especially as the coronavirus wanes, let's hope it's waning, we'll be able to open up more offices and give you more assistance. And we got Chris Fabian with me today. Hey, Chris.
Hello, Esther.
Hello, Christopher. All right, so everybody's wondering about what's taxable, and this whole thing comes through the IRS, and so I think we've done as much research as possible, and I think we're going to give you really good information. Number one, is unemployment taxable?
As of right now, yes.
Right. So unemployment is taxable, but stimulus, and here's what I think people forget is that the unemployment is being paid now because I think the first $600 payment from the federal government came through for people unemployed. But the stimulus money, which is going to be paid, which is going to be sent starting next week, is up to $1,200 per person, $500 for kids under the age of 17. So the stimulus is tax free. The unemployment right now, unless they back off of it, and that's what they've been doing. They've been saying this is and this isn't, but right now the unemployment is taxable. The stimulus is tax-free.
Right. And it's just so much fun. It's an ever-changing cycle.
Well, I think it's because I think it's very fluid, moving around. So, and then the other thing is, for those of you that are age 70 and a half and have been taking money out of your IRA with required minimum distributions, remember, you don't do RMDs this year. You can take money out of your IRA if you want, but you're not required to. There's no penalty. The penalty would normally be 50% of the amount you were supposed to take out. During 2020, you don't have to take any money out. Now, if you already did take money out and it's been more than 60 days, you cannot put it back. I researched that this morning. If it's within 60 days, you can refund it, you can put it back in, and it won't count as income. So those are things that I wanted to make sure people understand. I'm Esther Gulius, the Tax Lady, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone, and you can text us at 930.
Right. And on Wednesday, 2016 was supposed to die.
That's
so
right.
If you didn't file your return, or if you had an amended return and you were getting a refund, they had to receive it by Wednesday. They postponed that deadline now, too, as well, to July 15th.
Right. And so I thought it was important for people to know. And again, if you have any questions on the stimulus money, who's getting the money, PPP, and the $10,000 business loans for small businesses, you can give us a call, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. Here's what you need to know about the IRS during this period. First of all, the service centers are closed indefinitely. Now, there's a lot of help for you, right? So the IRS service centers are closed indefinitely. IRS has suspended most compliance activities, such as collections and audits, through July.
Yep. Wow.
All right.
It's going to be a crazy July 15th to the end of the month.
Then the IRS has a people 1st initiative that suspends all audits until after July 15th. However, they will not stop suspicious. They will continue to go after suspicious or fraudulent returns. Okay, but that's it. But the rest of everybody else got a pass. If you owe back taxes, you have a temporary reprieve until July the 15th. You can still go online to set up a new payment plan, but they're not going to go after collections until after July 15th.
Okay.
All right? The IRS will not require your monthly installment agreement till after July 15th. If you need to work on a problem and nobody's answering the phone, you can get your transcript by going to irs.gov, and you can there's an option on there that's called Get Transcript, and you set up an online account with the IRS. There's a lot of accounts I guess people want to set up, but I don't know. That's the one they want to set up. But then there's a Get Transcript tool, and you can get your transcript sent to you. And then when you get that, come to EG Tax and we'll interpret it for you, because it's a lot like reading Sanskrit.
Yep.
Right? IRS taxpayer advocates will still help you if it's a hardship. So you dial, what is it to get an IRS advocate, something like 811 or 911. No, it's 911. You put 911 on the thing. IRS will not grab the stimulus payment to pay for back taxes. So if you have back taxes and you're looking for your stimulus and you thought they were going to pay your taxes with it, they are not. And the website is irs.gov, and that's the best place to get answers to questions, because they are using the website to help taxpayers know, even though they're not answering the phone. And by the way, if you want to change, if you had a direct debit to pay for your liability on April the 15th, there's a number to call to change that if you want to move it back to July the 15th, and that's 888-353-4537. 888-353-4537, and you can get that on our EG Tax website, where we have a little bar in the middle. It's called stimulus.
Or COVID-19 something.
And you click on there, and it's full of a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Okay? All right, let's go to the phones, and we'll go to Mark. Hey, Mark. Mark.
How are you, Esther?
I'm good. What's new?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. I guess I'm just very confused right now. I listen to your show every week. I think it's excellent. This is really the first time I've had to call in.
I'm so glad. What can we help you with?
I have 3 questions, and I think you can answer them very quickly, so I don't take up all your time.
Okay.
First question is, I'm on Social Security disability.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to get a stimulus check?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I have not filed an income tax return. Do I have to file for...
No.
As long as
if you're getting Social Security, they have you. And as a matter of fact, a little later in the show, we got things for non-filers. So if you go to irs.gov, there's some that all of you that haven't filed who want your stimulus, you can go to irs.gov. There's a section on there for non-filers to enter payment information so they can directly deposit your stimulus.
Now, if you have the payment information in, I have it on direct deposit.
Then you should be good.
I'll just go on that point. I don't have to worry about it, right?
I will tell you, Mark, I mean, I only run EG Tax. I don't run the federal government.
not yet.
But,
You should.
I mean, but I'm going to tell you, from what I have been told and what I've read, if you are in the system with your Social Security, you can go grab a pina colada and sit under a palm tree. You're good to go.
All right.
Okay.
Next thing I have is my daughter just started working last year, and she has not filed her income tax return yet. Will she get the stimulus?
All right. So if she's not filed yet, right?
Right.
So she's a non-filer. She wants to go to the IRS website and fill out that non-filer information so that she can get her stimulus.
Okay.
You don't
You're not
claim.
yeah, go on, Chris. Go
You
ahead.
don't claim her, do you?
No, I.
No, because it's on SSD.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
So then she would.
Yeah. So make sure she go. So anybody that it has not filed a tax return, provided they're not a student that's being claimed on their parents' return or anybody else being claimed by as a dependent on somebody else's return, or don't have that income over that income threshold, and you want this, and you're an eligible U.S. taxpayer with a valid Social Security number, and you have adjusted gross income under those limits, go to the non-filer portion of the IRS website and register, and you'll get your stimulus.
Now, what about somebody who is not working right now, did not have a job in the...
They go to the non-filer section of the IRS and enter the information.
Them also?
Yep.
Great.
Okay?
I just have one more question for you.
Sure.
And do you know where you can pick up income tax returns, filing income tax returns?
Paper returns?
They're nowhere.
They're nowhere.
There's nowhere. And just go online.
Okay.
Or you could come see us, Mark.
I might do that.
Well, I'll tell you, we have a special for people that are just filing a real simple return that normally wouldn't file is $25. So, and that's federal and state. So, and who knows, many times when you don't think you have to file, you have an earned income credit coming, and you'd be surprised how many people end up with money.
Yeah, I might do that then. So it's only
All right, Mark.
$10. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. And we got a text.
A couple texts. Nope, they won't go after for student loans. I think it's just child support they're going to keep the stimulus for, correct?
No, I understand they're not going to do
they're not
anything.
Even do
Nothing.
Okay. See that?
They,
like we
they
said,
just want to
changes.
stimulate. There's not too many places to stimulate except for Walmart and Target and Big Lots, and the grocery stores. Nothing much available. But the thing is, people are really looking forward to this money.
Yep. And I know someone texted in, they're looking for the Alden office. Give our corporate office a call at 632-7886, and we'll get you right in touch with Al,
Right.
and he'll be able to help you.
Right. All right. I'm Esther Gillius, the tax lady. We're going to take a short break. Be back with Mike, Don, Charlie, Jack, Jim, and you on the other side. Bye-bye. Hey, to us, you are family, and we just want to help you. I will tell you, EG Tax is there for you. And again, April the 15th is Wednesday. We will get your taxes done. If you got refunds, hey, why would you wait? And just to let you know, we will do virtual appointments. You can email us your information. You can take a picture of it, send it to us. We then do a live telephone conference with you. You can wait in our parking lot. We pick up the stuff out of your car and do the tax return over the phone with you, or come in person. Everybody's distanced, covered up, clean. And we want to help you. After April the 15th, we're going to take a little hiatus for a couple weeks, and we'll be back with specific offices, hopefully as this virus thing wanes, for those people that want to wait to come in till a little later. All right? All right, and we're going to go back. Yes.
Well, I just want to say, sorry, we got to answer people's questions earlier. I know on Mike and Glenn's show, they were like, is unemployment taxable? And yep, the last text just said they got their first federal $600, but they only got $540 because the 10% was withheld. So that would mean the federal was taxable.
Right. Now, and for those of you that realize you might be getting $1,100 a week in unemployment for a long time, that's like $40,000, right? You want to make sure you take out the taxes.
Yep.
You don't want to get that whole thing because you think this tax season is sad because of the coronavirus, having thousands and thousands of people owing all kinds of money because they didn't withhold. I want to tell you, take out the taxes.
And unemployment doesn't count as earned income for those used to the earned income credit.
That's right.
So
that's right. And that's a great point. So for those of you that are normally working and have children and you get the earned income credit, if you're living on your unemployment does not allow you to get the earned income credit, which could really cost you a lot of money next year. Okay, let's go back to the phones. We're going to talk to Charlie. Hey, Charlie, how can we help you, sir?
Yes, I had a quick question about the unemployment. Is it true that even if you don't qualify financially for the extra $600, you're going to get it anyway? So in essence, getting more money than even if you were working?
Yes, sir. There's two parts to the unemployment this year. There's the state part, where the state basically looks at all those criteria that would have made you qualify before. And then there's the federal part where they just said, and let's give Charlie an extra $600.
Huh.
Because they like you, Charlie.
Will you share it with me, Charlie?
I've never been on unemployment, so I don't know.
But I will tell you, and it's interesting, for the first time ever, self-employed people or people that are the owners of corporations and they're the only employee of the corporation would have never been able to get unemployment before because of this coronavirus stimulus law that just was passed. The federal government has made a commitment not only to pay the stimulus money of $1,200 per person, but also, if you're unemployed, to get an additional $600 over the state portion. And if you're self-employed, the state's not going to pay anything, but the federal will pay the $600.
Okay. And one other question, I think someone asked earlier, but just out of curiosity, did you say that are Social Security disability benefits taxable?
No, what he called in and said, can I get the stimulus if I only have Social Security disability? Social Security disability is not taxable provided that in your situation, if you're verifying a joint return, your total income, including half of your Social Security, doesn't exceed $32,000. If you're single, that your other income, including half your Social Security, doesn't exceed $25,000. So if you were on Social Security disability and you had a big investment someplace of $40,000, then your Social Security would be taxable. Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
thanks for the call. Let's see. We're going to go to, Jim has been waiting a long time. Hi, Jim. How can we help you, sir?
Hello, good afternoon. This was in regards to the unemployment. Also, I'm a seasonal worker and was fortunate to already be in the system when all of this hit. And for my direct deposits each week, I always had federal and state deducted prior to the deposit.
Sure.
I just got my first 600, and by the math, it shows that only federal was deducted. Is the state going to expect me to come out of pocket?
Well, it's going to be taxable on New York State for sure. So you want to make sure you contact New York State. And I know that it's been just like horrible to get through, but I think it looks like they're really getting a handle on it. So you want to make sure that you have the state do voluntary withholding as well.
But remember, the state only does 2%. The
Right.
lowest tax rate is 4.5%. So you would make sure you keep a little bit of extra money aside.
And it
for
might
next
be
year.
the reason that they haven't done that is because this $600 is from the federal government.
Yeah.
And the state of New York maybe isn't monitoring it. Maybe they don't even care. I have no idea. But if they will allow you to do voluntary withholding on the unemployment, I would suggest you do that.
Yeah, I'm already set up that way, so I'm not sure.
Well, like I said, there's two parts. There's the state part, and then there's federal part. The $600 is the federal part, but that doesn't mean it isn't taxable on New York State. For those of you that think you're going to be on this for a long time, and you think that your benefits are going to end up to be like $40,000, you can always do an estimate in advance, and if you call us, we'll be very happy to give you the vouchers to send in voluntarily every quarter.
Awesome. Great show. Thank you so much for all your info. I wish you good health.
Well, thank you very much.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. And we're going to go to Mike in Williamsville. Hi, Mike.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
A couple of questions, if you have a second.
Yes, sir.
First one is I filed my taxes, my federal and my state. When my federal, there was a mistake when it was done, and I owed $97. So they amended my return, sent the check in, sent everything in, and then I haven't gotten my federal back or anything. And this is going on about a month and a half now. And somebody told me that if it's amended, that it takes up to 3 months before they even look at it.
And that's right, but on a normal year. Now,
That's
this
saying
isn't
much more.
Right. We don't know if they're even looking at amended returns right now because those people might be on furlough.
They are, as a matter of fact, the service centers are closed indefinitely, and the IRS is pretty much on suspension until July the 15th.
Okay, will that affect my stimulus check?
No, not at all.
No.
The IRS is in charge of sending out the money, but the IRS on the tax end it's like the IRS is just like saying, you know what, we just want to give the money, we don't want to take the money, and they're just not looking at tax returns till July the 15th, unamended returns.
I have mine electronically, filed. They have all my information.
And then you'll be fine. And you had it directly deposited or directly withdrawn?
Yeah, it would be directly deposited.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay. And my other question is this, and I'm not sure how this would work. I work a full-time and a part-time job. I've done it for years. Now, because of the coronavirus, I lost my part-time job. Am I eligible for anything, or no, because I'm still working my full-time job?
Yeah, you're still working your full-time job, so no, you wouldn't be eligible.
Right, but if you had, let's say you were just working, let's say your full-time job went to part-time. If you work less than 2 days in a week, right?
Or is 3 days a week? 3 days.
3 days in a week, then you'd still get some unemployment money from New York State and $600 from New York State.
From the federal.
From the federal, excuse me.
All right. Thank you so much for your help.
You're very welcome. Thanks for calling. Happy Easter. Okay, let's go to Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Esther. I have a question. I don't know if you're answering questions about the PPP.
I was going to do that next if I got a chance. Yes, the PPP is really important. That's the payroll protection provision that is for small businesses under 500 employees. What you need to know.
We filed for that, and what's confusing to me is they want you to have your staff working again by June 5th, by the end of June. And we have everybody that wants to work is working, but we have several people that, want to work. We didn't lay anyone off or anything like that, but they don't want to work scared. How do we get those people back if they don't want to come back? And can they file for unemployment because they chose to not work?
Well, because of COVID, they are extending the unemployment. But if work is available to them and the general public can go back to work and they refuse to, you can fight their unemployment.
Okay, but in the meantime, that they don't want to come to work, but we do have work for them, can they still file now?
For unemployment?
I mean, technically, you have to lie on the application because it says, are you ready, willing, and able to work? Have you turned down work? If you say, no, I haven't, but they did, then you can fight it. I presume they're still going to send out those follow-up forms, I'm thinking, to the employer, which would give you an opportunity to turn it down. But, I have like 170 employees. And so one of those things that as an employer you can do is call them and have that conversation like, you may think you're doing good now for 6 months, but what do you do after the job is over, after this is over? So, I know that with the PPP, you have 8 weeks to spend the money on mostly payroll. So
and it's
that's a delicate
from the
balancing
day you get
act.
the money.
Right. From the day you are approved for your loan and get the money, you have 8 weeks from that time to pay the money for payroll.
No, that is,
in order to have it forgiven.
It's scary, yeah.
Right, but then again, it isn't scary because if you can't fulfill that, you can always give back the money.
Just pay it back, right? Okay.
Right? I mean, it's a loan, so if you can't do it, then give them back their money, which would be the right thing to do anyway, I would think, right?
The part that you do spend, or
No. The part that you didn't spend. Like, let's say that you are not going to meet that requirement. Now, the rest of it will turn into a low interest loan that you have 2 years to pay back. So, and as time goes on here, we're gonna work with that in the future. But right now, people are just up in the air. They don't understand how this PPP works. So,
yeah.
Okay, Kim?
All right. Thanks, Esther.
Thank you, dear. I'm Esther Gilius, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're going to take a short break for the news. Give us a call on the other side, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. See you on the other side. Hey, family, this is Esther Gilius, the tax lady from EG Tax. Wednesday's the original deadline for tax season, and we're hoping those of you that are are got your stuff together, you want to do virtual taxes, you want to drop them off, you want to sit in our parking lot, you want to come in person, we'll get you all covered up, and would get it done before April the 15th. But for those of you that say, no, I want to stay home and I'm not ready to do this, EG Tax will, of course, be there to help you through July the 15th. We're going to modify the offices. We're going to do mostly appointments in branch office. Our corporate office will obviously be open 9 to 7 after May the 1st to help you. And
our franchises are open. You can give them a call to find out what days.
And if you don't get through because our lines are jammed here, you can call our corporate headquarters at 632-7886, 632-7886, and we got qualified staff there to answer your questions as well. And I'm going to go to Neil. Hi, Neil. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Hopefully all you guys are doing safe.
We are.
Very good. Question on Startup New York. My wife is an employee of a Startup New York corporation. Last year, the payroll company estimated the New York state tax that would have been taken out, so I was able to enter that, and then the state asked me to upload her W-2, which was no problem. This year, though, different payroll provider does not give that estimated tax that...
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, Neil. That isn't the way it's done. On Startup New York, all of her wages earned are just tax-free, and it's a subtraction on the state of New York.
Right.
You don't get credit.
In box 14 of the W-2, it should say Startup.
Right.
And then that would be a subtraction from New York.
You don't get extra. You don't get to take a credit for taxes. It's you subtract the wages.
Working on I'm doing it myself. So
okay, well, it's a subtraction on New York State. You go to the subtraction section, and under I don't know which code it was, but there's a code section for Startup New York, and that's what becomes tax-free. It's not a credit.
Right, I know it's not a credit. It's an exemption.
It's a subtraction.
Find out how to denote that.
Yeah, just go to a publication, New York State publication. I don't know the code off the top of my head, but basically, if you take a look under New York State subtraction code section, they tell you what the code number is. You put the code in, and it'll back it off.
Very good.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Make sure the W-2 in box 14 says Startup, or New York will reject it.
Well,
I'm just saying, we've seen it.
Right. Well, he said that it was whatever. And we're going to go to Mike in East Aurora. Hi, Mike.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. What can we help you with, sir?
Question. So I have a full-time job. I'm employed, and then I also have two separate LLCs. One's a partnership. One's a single-member LLC. Would I qualify for any of the small business?
The PPP.
Yeah.
There's the EIDA, I think it's EIDA. That's the emergency $10,000 that you can get. And then the PPP would be for small business owners.
Do you have payroll? Do you have employees you pay?
Well, himself.
Not through a single owner.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyway, you can take a look at the I think it's EIDA. You'd fill out that grant, but again, it would be because there was a downturn, which obviously there was. So you can take a look at that. But if you want to call our office at 632-7886 and ask for Maria Rickard, she's in there and she can help you with where to go. You would fill out it's actually your bank that you would deal with that would do the PPP or I think the EIDA you do right on the website.
Yep, right
on
the
SBA. On the SBA website. And then if you're looking for the PPP, you'd have to go to your banker, and then you fill out the application at the bank, online at the bank. And there's a lot of things that they ask for, the 940s and all that kind of stuff. And then you send it, then they send it off to the SBA. The SBA approves it, then funds the bank, and the bank then loans you the money.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you, Mike. All right, and we're going to go to Kevin in Pendleton. Hi, Kevin.
Oh, hi, Esther. How are you doing?
Good. What can we do for you?
Yeah, I have a question for you in relation to this stimulus money.
Yeah.
If you have someone who's, you're claiming someone who's in college.
Uh-huh.
But the individual also work, with the college and pay taxes and stuff, will that individual get a stimulus check?
No, not if you claim them as a dependent.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. How much each person is getting who files?
All right, so it's $1,200 up to $1,200 for an individual, and it starts to wane back if you're single and it exceeds $75,000. Married filing a joint return over $150, because it starts to go back at 5% as you exceed that number. So the maximum would be $1,200. Children under the age of 17 is $500.
Okay, and just to make sure I could get it on my phone when a bit of static here, that's $1,200 per taxpayer in the house, or that's $1,200 per household?
Right, $2,400
$2,400.
if you're married joint, yeah.
Much.
Okay, thank you, Kev.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Couple texts. Esther, I have a DBA, sole proprietor for 15 years. I've lost business due to the virus. Am I eligible for unemployment income?
Well, I mean, it all depends if you are still open for business.
Right. If you're still making money, that's one of the criterias. If you're making over 400, probably you won't get the unemployment if that's 400 a week. So your best thing is to try. Fill out the application online. I heard they abbreviated it, and then they call you back within 72 hours. That's the best thing to do, is to try.
There's a website you might want to go to. It's called Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, loans for small businesses. Who can apply? U.S. business owners of any business with 500 or fewer employees. The application period for business owners with employees opened April 3rd. Self-employed entrepreneurs, freelancers, and independent contractors in the United States. If you're self-employed and have no employees, you fall under the second part of the program. And you can apply. I'm reading this stuff. There's some other conditions to meet the special circumstances. You must have been in operation by February 15th, 2020 in order for these businesses to get the PPP loan. And you must certify that current economic uncertainty makes this loan request necessary to support ongoing operations of the applicant. Small business owners with employees can apply now through June 30th. So that's just some information on the PPP if you're wondering what that is. It's payroll protection, and the thing is, it's meant to give the business owner the funds to keep his or her employees working for basically 8 weeks, right? And if you comply, then much of, if not most of the money will be forgiven because it went out to hire the employees, right? Okay, let's go to the phones. We'll talk to Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hello, Esther. How are you today?
I'm marvelous. How about you, sir?
We're doing good, and not sick at all yet, but we're...
You know, I was just telling Chris, I said, I know they're going to come up with this thing that to see if you had corona, and if you did have corona, then you can go back to work. So how about the people that never got corona? Do they have to get corona in order to get back to work? You know. Anyway, what can we help you with, sir?
I'm calling you because I saw on WGRZ earlier this week that when you file your 2020 tax return, when you get your refund in 2021, it'll be reduced by that stimulus.
Not at all. No, see, there's going to be a credit put on the tax return in 2020 that's going to be called the coronavirus stimulus credit, all right? And it's going to say you're entitled to a $1,200 credit on your 2020 tax return if you didn't get the stimulus yet.
Okay.
So if you didn't get the stimulus, you get the stimulus next year. If you got the stimulus, then you don't get it again.
All right, because the way they made the story...
Well, I know, because I had my own staff. I found about 3 of them talking to each other this, and I said, "What are you guys talking about?" They on social media, they're saying that you got to pay back the stimulus. You don't. This, remember, Chris? Yep. You were the first one that brought it up. I think what was that time? Was that with Obama that they gave the advance?
Yeah, it was like 2008.
It was to stimulate the. It was like only like $500 or something. But the whole thing is there is going to be a credit on the 2020 tax return for the stimulus provision, a credit. And the first thing it's going to do is, did you get the stimulus of $1,200 last year? Yes or no? No. Then you're going to go on. Then were you acclaimed as a dependent on somebody's return? No. Did you, and basically if you didn't get the credit, you're going to get the credit then. But if you did, you're not going to get it again.
Okay, because I thought that the way they made it sound on WGRZ was that when you got it on this year, your 2020 tax return, your whatever you would get, your
if you got it, you won't get it again. If you didn't get it, you get it.
And you don't have to pay it back.
And you don't have to pay it back.
It would be reduced, though, by what you...
Nope.
No, Joe. If you didn't get it, you'll get it next tax season. If you got it, you don't get it again. So if I get it in July, $1,200, and I do my tax return next year and I get a $5,000 refund, I would get $6,200 if I didn't get it. But I'm only going to get my $5,000 if that's all I'm entitled to, because I already got the stimulus. They're giving it to us in advance of next year's taxes.
They're creating a new credit.
You understand, Joe?
Yep, I think I got it.
All right, good. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. Let's see. We're going to go to... Yes.
I was going to say, call us. The news puts out what they think they know. Call the experts.
And the thing is, tax law, the verbiage, if you talk to some people, they love to talk in tax lingo. So they say, well, as a matter of fact, there's going to be a credit next year, and the credit next year will reduce your liability if, but the bottom line is, if you got it, you're not going to get it again. If you didn't get it, they're going to give you a chance to get it. That's it. Okay, we're going to go to Richard. Hi, Richard. How can we help you, sir?
Yeah, hey, how you doing, Esther?
I can't complain.
Think about offsets. I only have 2 offsets. Are they collecting?
You have 2. So are you asking if your stimulus is going to be taken because of offsets?
Well, they just took my federal, and I don't know if they're going to take my state.
You know what, Richard? You must be on a cell phone because you're breaking up. The bottom line is they're not supposed to be taking the stimulus for any taxes. They're supposed to give it to you, so they want you to stimulate. Okay.
No, how about the offsets that I owe?
As far as I know, they're not going to take it.
Well, mine was just processed.
That's different, Richard. Remember, the stimulus hasn't even gotten out yet, so they couldn't have taken it yet. They might have taken your income tax, but not your stimulus.
And they take the income tax.
But that's income tax. Stimulus is different.
Yeah, no, that's my first question was income tax. They could take the income tax. Right?
Of course they're going to take your income tax because you owe back taxes or whatever offset you have, but they're not going to use the stimulus to do an offset.
Okay, do they take federal and state?
If you're talking through your tax return, yes, the federal and state could take it for offsets.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Richard. All right, and we're going to go back to the phones and talk to John. Howdy, John. How can we help you, sir?
I have actually 2 questions. I was listening to, because this is the first time I've been on unemployment, and you were saying to take out things for taxes. How does one go about this? Does that go to New York State? Where do you go to ask them to take taxes out for you?
Well, that's regular unemployment through New York, you can sign up for 10% withholding for the federal and 2.5% or something like that through New York State. The federal unemployment looks like right now they're only taking out the federal 10%. So if you're getting that extra $600, what we said earlier was you should set money aside, or you could do quarterlies and prepay your New York State estimated tax.
Okay.
And we'll help you with the quarterlies. So it's basically called an estimate.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. The other question I had, where can you go now? Because I think the IRS offices are all closed.
That's right.
Can you go to request an earnings statement for 2018? Is there any way to get it?
You have to go and get your transcript. So you go to irs.gov, and there is a section in there where you can actually set up your own account, and they're going to verify that it's really you, and you're going to have to prove your ID and all that stuff.
You'll need a cell phone, an email address.
And then they'll let you do get transcript. They'll send you a transcript.
Now, this wouldn't be a transcript. This would be an earnings.
They have that.
They got everything.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right. We have a text.
How is the amount of PPP determined? Is it 2.5 times wage salary only, or does it include payroll taxes?
All right. Small business owners can get a maximum of 2.5 times the business's average monthly payroll costs. All right?
So that would include payroll taxes.
Payroll taxes. So small businesses, you will use your average payroll cost for 2019. Seasonal businesses, if your small business is seasonal, the amount is based upon your monthly average over a 12-week period. New businesses, if your business is new, you can figure average payroll based upon January and February of 2020. Okay? And let's go to, we're going to go to Gina. Hey, Gina, how can we help you?
Hi, Esther. I had a question about the $10,000 advance for small businesses.
Yes.
And I have a small business in Niagara Falls. I applied for that, but I wasn't, well, we haven't heard anything. I applied a couple weeks ago. Are we required to apply for the larger loans, the EIDL, to get that?
No.
No.
No, that $10,000 is the one portion, and then the PPP is the other. So, and then if you are already working with the SBA, they had a bridge loan up to 25. So no, the 10,000. But I think really it was interesting. I was listening to Mike and Glenn on my way in, and they had somebody called that said they actually got a PPP payment today. I don't know if anybody's gotten PPP yet, but if the money's trickling out, hallelujah.
Yep. And
because
I know
businesses really, really need it.
And I know SBA. I've talked to one of my clients is an SBA person, and he's working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week to try to get these loans out. And banks are recruiting people from branches to do help with the SBA loans. So they are behind. So you got to be patient.
Have you heard anything, even an email saying they received it or anything?
Nothing. You don't hear a thing. You just don't hear a thing. So, and there's almost no one to call. It's a lot like dealing with the IRS. You just can't. What can you do? But keep your fingers crossed, Gina.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear. Wanted to talk about what counts as payroll costs. The employee has to be a U.S. resident, and what you can include is salary, commissions, tips, benefits such as insurance, paid leave, state and local taxes when computing payroll costs.
So.
Okay.
Mostly everything.
Mostly everything. Okay, let's go to John in Tonawanda. Hi, John.
Hi. Listen, love your info. So, listen, a federal tax estimated, that dates, are they still locked in?
No, that the first estimated due date is July the 15th.
Oh.
And that goes for the first and second quarter.
Right.
Is both
so
due
you're
July 15th.
supposed to double them up.
What about the third?
Third is September 15th.
So that's right after July.
Yeah.
Yep. That usually happens July, August, September. Yeah.
It's real tight.
Yeah, but they're thinking people's income is going to be.
But they're pushing off the April payment, and June. And they're, if you think about it, they pushed off April and June, and they're just doubling up in July because they're thinking by then, God, I'm pleased, God, by then people will be back to work.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Bye-bye. And what do we got here?
I have a startup business. I lost my investor due to the shutdown. Is there any aid or stimulus for new businesses?
Yeah, and I talked about that.
Yep.
And the thing is, you can, like I said, there's this website I went to. It's called Paycheck Protection Program, Loans for Small Businesses, under, let's see, I can't see where it's from. But anyway, there's a lot of information online. And if you need help, EG Tax will help you with your PPP and your all that stuff too, because we're here to help you in all facets of taxes and business. And let's go back to the phones. We'll talk to Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hello.
How can I help you, sir?
Yes, Esther. I'm a procrastinator, so I'm finishing up my 2018 taxes and filling it out my 2019. So, do I have until July to get in the 18?
No, the 18 was due April the 15th last year.
But if you have a refund coming, you have 3 years from the due date last year. So you have a couple more years. So
but
you
I mean,
can keep waiting
it's
if
due.
you want.
It was due April the 15th, but there is no penalties if you have a refund. Chris is correct.
Oh, you always get a refund. But if, say, for instance, obviously they're using at least the 18 for your stimulus check, correct?
That's what they're looking at. So you're gonna have to go to the non-filers section and fill out some information or get that thing in right away in order to get your stimulus refund.
Well, if I went electronic at EG Tax and filled it in by Monday,
well, then that means you'd get it.
so that would cover my bases.
Yep.
And if I don't get it, will I?
You're going to get it. You're going to get it. For sure, you're going to get it. You're going to get it one way or another because they're going to start off with people with direct deposits, and they're going to send out checks. And if you don't, then when you file your return in 2020, there's going to be a section in there for people that didn't get it, that should have got it, and they're going to get it then. Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye. All right, the other thing I wanted to tell people is, what do you use the PPP for? Business owners with employees must use the funds for payroll. At least 75% must go to this. The remainder of the 100% can go for rent, utilities, and interest on debt. And what are the charges? There are no charges. And what is the interest rate? It's 1% for 2 years, and then after 2 years, it reverts to a regular loan. So those are things relative regarding the PPP. And let's see, can we sneak in one more? All right, Larry, how can we help you, sir?
Yeah, I have a question about IRAs.
Yeah.
What's the cutoff date for a contribution for?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. There's all these dates have been extended. You can still contribute to your traditional or Roth IRA up to July the 15th.
It's July 15th.
Yeah. And Auntie Esther's got to go do taxes. So for those of you that are going to file before April the 15th, we hope you will. Come join EG Tax, egtax.com. We'll see you next week. I'm Esther Gulius. And if you need help, call us. Bye-bye.